Log stardate 5730.2. It has been attacked by a bacterial invasion which threatens to render it lifeless unless checked. Our mission, to decontaminate it.
At present speed, our ETA is 3 hours, 4 minutes, sir.
Finally, he's back.
They made a note to like acknowledge him right in the beginning too. Mr. Chekhov, you're here. Wait, that's...
Maybe a Starfleet shuttlecraft, sir.
That is exactly what it is, Mr. Chekhov.
Try to contact them on command frequency 2.
Aye, Captain. No response, sir.
Try all frequencies.
The creature may be suffocating.
Lieutenant Sulu, activate tractor beams. Mr. Spock, come with me. Scotty?
He just has to say his name.
Was that just a point? Like
knows
just
what to do.
Scotty, that means you're in charge?
Yeah, he knows.
Ooh, this is kind of new.
Yeah. I don't think we've seen any shuttlecraft stuff in the 3rd season, like with the original effects, so.
Yeah. Okay, it says NCC 1701. I mean, doesn't that mean... I mean, the Enterprise is NC 1701.
Pretty sure it still said Galileo on the front, too. So, maybe they just couldn't afford to change the design. It's Harvey Dent.
It's Roddy Piper from that one pay-per-view when he did half blackface. It's crazy. Sometimes it feels like they wait 10 minutes to get to this, and then other times it's like...
Yeah. It depends on how much exposition they have to dump in the beginning. This time it wasn't that much.
I have a good feeling about this one. The fact that they were just like... Anytime it's like snippety snap, you know it's going to be a good one. I just jinxed it.
Whatever the quality was of this episode that's existed for 50 plus years, you have now changed.
Dude, you know the amount of times I say something like, "Oh, what about this?" and then they answer that question literally within the next. I don't know, man. I feel like there's some serious butterfly effects going on here.
Simulation.
Let that be your last battlefield.
Interesting.
Lee Cronin's back. Judd Taylor. We've seen that name before.
A mutation. One of a kind.
Yes, I would agree. That's the case here. You're aboard the Starship Enterprise.
I've heard of it. United Fleet of Planets?
Federation. So is the shuttlecraft that you were flying in. Don't you usually know whose property you've stolen?
You're being very loose with your accusations and drawing conclusions without any facts.
Who are you?
Name is Loci, from the planet Charon.
What are you doing so far from home?
I was at a football game.
What were you going to do?
You monotone humans are all alike. First you condemn and then attack.
Monotone. That's funny.
That makeup is like perfectly done though.
I will answer no more questions.
I bet it was a pain in the ass to have to do it that perfectly every time.
Contact with alien ship, sir.
I'll be right there. Notify Mr. Spock. Could it be a Romulan ship? Using their cloaking device?
Negative. This would not be a Romulan vessel. It is totally alien in configuration.
How could we save a little money? What if the enemy was invisible?
We're on collision course.
It's out of control or a suicide mission.
Brace yourself.
But we haven't seen anyone walk in the hallways in a while. Oh, they did it again! You see that?
Oh, it was a
That
different
wasn't
guy?
Chekhov. Again! Fake Chekhov.
Read out, Mr. Spock.
It just disintegrated. But it seems to have deposited an alien presence.
Where? Right here, Captain.
It's not the same guy from sickbay, is it?
No. Because Spock was like, he must be one of a kind, but clearly he isn't.
I am Beale, of the planet Charon, no doubt. Forgive my unorthodox arrival.
Now, if the left side of my face wasn't painted, my career would be over. But the fact that it is painted, I'm okay.
A most unique craft. Pity it couldn't be salvaged for our study.
It was sheathed in special materials that rendered it invisible. Lokai was tried and convicted of treason, but had escaped.
Okay, now this is interesting. As soon as this guy came on board, I'm like, please don't try to take over the Enterprise. Please don't try to take over the Enterprise. But no, like a self-contained conflict within his own species.
Unless it's all a ruse for them to actually take over the Enterprise.
I swear to God. I swear to God.
Pleasure to see you again. This time, I'm sure our joining will be of a more permanent nature. Captain, you are to be congratulated. Never before.
Uh-oh. Problematic shot here.
That is a problematic shot.
Shoot from the other side.
Took me a second. I'm like, oh.
Raided our homes, tore us from our families, herded us together like cattle, and then sold us as slaves.
Them into our hearts, our homes. We educated them.
Yes, just education enough to serve the master race. Why should a slave show mercy to the enslaver?
That was changed thousands of years ago. You were freed.
Okay, if you notice, their face paint is switched.
To you, we are a loathsome breed who will never be ready. Genocide for my people is the plan for your utopia. Insane, filthy.
You're coming back to pay for your crimes! The only service this ship can offer is to bring you together. It is not a battlefield. It is imperative that you return Lokai to Sharon for judgment.
They're trying to extradite him.
There are no extradition procedures to allow it. Is that clear, Commissioner Beale? I insist that you take us there immediately. Impossible. I have a mission to accomplish. There's a planet to be decontaminated. Millions of lives are at stake.
That thing we brought up in the first 5 minutes that everyone forgets about.
Yeah.
I do like the little lesson they're trying to show us. You know, it's like they look exactly the same, but they're different because it's squished, and it's like to show that racism is fucking dumb because they're the same.
We're on the way to Sharon. Captain, this ship is now under my direction. 1,000 of your terrestrial years, I have been pursuing Lokai through the galaxy.
What?
This ship goes where my will drives it.
Captain, we are now at warp 10 and the speed is increasing.
So they must be like ancient creatures.
This ship goes where I want it to go. Security, put them both in the brig. Phasers, on stun. Fire.
That is very interesting. A human body shield. That's pretty cool.
And I like how they're powerful, but they're not super ridiculous about it, wearing Shakespearean robes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're very grounded in reality, despite how ridiculous
Computer.
it might be. This is very grounded in reality.
Destruct sequence.
I feel like that is kind of one of the positives of the smaller budget sometimes, you know? You gotta have just like a
Exactly.
more smaller story.
Everything's been on the Enterprise, no other planet, no other sets, but
Prepare to verify.
You can create
Destruct
good stuff with
sequence
that.
Code 1.
you put a couple dudes in a gray tracksuit, paint their face,
Computer,
create some elaborate
this is
backstory.
Captain James Kirk.
There's a lot you can do with nothing.
1, Code 1, 1A.
This is Commander Spock, Science Officer. Destruct sequence number 2, 1A, 2B.
I like how there's kind of like logging into your bank account, a double factor
Two-factor.
authentication. Yeah,
Yeah.
two-factor authentication. Yeah. Very nice.
Scott?
This is Lieutenant Commander
Scott. 3-factor.
3-factor.
Look at these shots, too.
Code
Damn.
1B, 2B, 3.
And this is a very large, elaborate ruse by all three of them.
B, 2B, 3, verified and correct.
These dramatic zooms are perfect.
Begin 30-second countdown. Code 000.
I was hoping to be another chess move.
From 5 to 0, no command in the universe can prevent the computer.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Computer,
Nice.
Code 123, continuity. Abort destruct order.
That was so fast and hilarious. I mean, obviously we know it's not going to blow up, but I was bought into that falsy of that tension.
Yeah. Great sequence.
I think all the buildup was just perfect. All the 3-factor authentication, all that shit, that was... And just the added little detail. After 5, we can't do anything.
Yeah.
All that was amazing.
I will stand for no interference with the function of this ship. All hands, return to normal routine.
You know, Kirk's feeling good about himself right now.
No one knows how he'll react under pressure, Lokai.
After all, we are only human.
See, you are from the planet Earth. There is no persecution on your planet. How can you understand my fear?
There was persecution on Earth once. I remember reading about it in my history class.
Yes, but it happened way back in the 20th century.
This might be one of the best directed episodes so far. Like, just shots like that.
Yes, instead of showing that scene, just have it through... We get like 2 perceptions here. Theirs and Spock's listening in, but without actually seeing it.
And
That's
then what
great.
an excellent shot here of just his shadow on the wall there.
A battle that will serve your oppressor and bring death to you and your brothers.
Great work with the DOP here. Holy shit, yeah. Just to make an interesting shot rather than just point and click.
It is obvious to the most simple-minded that Lokai is of an inferior breed.
The obvious visual evidence, Commissioner. He is of the same breed as yourself.
Blind, Commander Spock? Oh, look at me.
I was right. I was right.
I am black on the right side.
Yeah, you called that.
Lokai is white on the right side. All of his people are white on the right side.
And?
Ready for decontamination procedure.
Ready, sir?
Ready here.
Ready, Mr. Scott.
Wait, what are they doing?
Aren't they, like, going here to give them something?
This was their original mission.
Yeah.
Their first 5-minute mission. Okay.
And they're actually solving it. Wow. You never see that.
They actually remembered what their first plot point was.
I mean, there's still a little bit left, but doesn't it feel odd that this episode is just like, I don't know, I feel like there's no, like, real escalation. Like, it's just, like, happening, if that makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah, like, things are happening kind of
Some of
okay.
the memory banks of the computer are burned out.
Can you determine which one? The directional control and the self-destruct.
Oh, God. Spoke too soon. Oh, I love this shot, too. A lot of, like, creative directional camera choices here.
You're dead, you half-white.
I'll take you with me, you half-blood.
No sapient life forms registering at all, Captain.
Is he talking about Sharon?
Yeah. Oh, like it died out in the 50,000 years that he's been chasing him?
All the people are dead.
All dead, Captain. They have annihilated each other.
They're the only 2 left.
Your band of murderers.
No!
Oh, they don't even learn the lesson.
Poor one guy walking in the hallway.
Yeah, watch out. They're both envisioning the same building on fire.
What kind of run is that?
Where's he gonna beam to?
There is a life form materializing on the planet.
Oh, he went down to the Chiron. Seems like the problem's just working itself out.
Yeah, and Kirk just let him go. Like, oh yeah, what are they gonna do?
If their planet's dead, does it matter now which one's right?
Not to Lokai and Beale. All that matters to them is their hate.
Do you suppose that's all they ever had, sir?
No. But that's all they have left. Warp Factor 2, Mr. Sulu.
I love this episode. This is definitely one of my top 5 for season 3. I loved everything about this episode. small, contained, all within the Enterprise. Everyone on the crew participated in some way. I mean, Bones not so much. He kind of just disappeared halfway through, but that's okay. But like having Sulu and Chekhov and Uhura all like drop lines of wisdom about the, this futuristic sense of peace and morality really added to that. It wasn't just a big three. Like everyone in this world, at least on the Enterprise, is like smart and figured it out. And I love the whole conflict of this race. And like they were so blinded by their hate that they left their planet and it died because of the hate. And I love it's similar to City on the Edge of Forever almost, where it's like that ending where it's like, let's get the hell out of here. It's like hate is all they know, and they left. It's like it leaves you something to sit with. It doesn't leave you with like the crew laughing like on the bridge, like, oh, can you believe Spock's a Vulcan? Can you believe that? It's like it leaves you with that sense of, yes, the future is optimistic and great, but still it's like people need to do better, man. And I love that. I loved it. Perfect. I loved it.
Yeah, I really liked the episode as well, for sure. I echo everything you say there. I want to give a shout out to Frank Gorshin, who played Beale, and Lou Antonio, who played Lokai. Both of them were great in this episode. They were like just on the borderline of, they weren't too over the top or too hammy. It really fit in and was believable with their characters. And you like you were saying at the beginning, you're like, I really hope this is just a small political story about these people and the Enterprise is just kind of there. And that's what it ended up kind of being. I mean, there was some stuff with him, Beale taking over the Enterprise a couple times and being mischievous, but for the most part, the Enterprise, the crew, Kirk, kind of stay out of their thing. They never take sides. And the whole story is just about hate. I think this is probably the best example of an episode that holds up just as well or even better today. I mean, the lesson of this episode, is amazing, and it was well executed here, and it's probably better executed in this episode than a lot of stuff you see today, because a lot of times today it can be so like on the nose or one-sided, but here it's represented really well, and it's just a perfect example of, you called it, them being half white and half black, but on different sides. So in reality, they're literally the same creature. But
they're literally the same, yeah.
Yeah, because of that slight mirrored image, it gives them that reason to hate each other. And they did have the whole backstory with the slavery and being freed and all that, but still, I loved all of that. It also is one of the best directed episodes, I think, thus far, of the whole series. This, again, was Judd Taylor, who, again, I'm going to double check just to make sure I'm correct here, but I believe he started out with The Paradise Syndrome, which I thought was just kind of like flatly directed, and then he did Wink of an Eye, which I thought was a step up, and I liked a lot of the directorial choices there. And now this is even a bigger step up and is one of the best directed episodes of the show, I think. Just so many great stylistic choices. I know if I try to name them, I'll forget a lot of it. But I'll just say my favorite one was the scene where Spock was listening in on Lokai, trying to convince the people on the Enterprise, and you just see like his shadow in the room and the people he's talking to as he walks back and forth. The little choice just to have it from Spock's point of view listening in, and the visuals of it was all great, and a lot of the episode was like that.
Yeah, to make that one scene like so multi-layered. It's like it's not just him giving the speech. It's like, we get the idea that he's like trying to convince these people, but also Spock listening in and his point of view. It's like whenever you can like make something more than just one scene, that's fantastic. Yeah, all the shots like running in the hallways, camera angles like when Beale is taking over the ship and it shows every member like on the bridge there, just all looking. I gotta mention, I love realistic science fiction type choices where it's like the fake out self-destruction maneuver, the 3-factor authentication, Kirk, Spock, and I'm glad it wasn't Bones because that would have been ridiculous, but Chief Engineer Scott being like the final piece to the 3-factor authentication. It's like little stuff like that is like so neat. I love that. It makes it feel so realistic in this world. Otherwise, if it was like dumb, like Kirk would have a button right on his chair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to count down from 30. You better stop me. And like also the little thing like just to make it a little more interesting, just to add another layer, it's like after 5 seconds, no matter what I say, nothing happens. Like that threw me for a loop. It's like it caught me off guard. I'm like, what? So I almost like bought into like, oh shit, this is getting serious. And like I knew it wasn't gonna blow up, but part of me believed it's like that little thing where it's like you can't stop it after 5 seconds. What? So then all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, like little things like that just make it feel so much more real.
Yeah, absolutely. And it also is like, it shows the good side of how you can have a slower paced direction without ruining the pace of the episode. Like, so many times we complain about, like, oh, do they really have to show this for so long or go into this much, to stretch it out? But nothing about this episode felt stretched out. All of the cool directorial choices added to the episode. It didn't take away from the pacing of it. The pacing in this episode was great. And like I said, when we were like 40 minutes in, I'm like, this feels like we haven't even gotten to like the main, thing here yet, even though there was that really cool sequence in the middle with the self-destruction. Just a great job with pacing. And I think, Gene L. Kuhn, who the Lee Cronin is one of his, pseudonyms here, did a great job with the story. And then it looks like Oliver Crawford did the script. Both of them great here. I mean, all around, this was just an excellent episode. I don't really have anything to complain about that I didn't like on a first watch. It got me. I mean, it was. I did not expect to have any more episodes this good left in the show. So I'm glad that they're still coming. I still like them this much.
Like a couple of the last few, I started to get worried. I started to get scared. I'm like, oh no. I mean, maybe people were right about season 3, but then like, I have this gift. That first 5 minutes, where like when it cut to the intro, I'm like, that was really quick. I have a good feeling about this, and it was great. So this is one of my favorite episodes. So, bravo. It's all downhill from here.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna keep, end it there, keep it a little bit shorter and civil because it's just a really good episode of it. Excited to watch it again. Let us know what you guys think. Is this one that you guys like, or are you surprised that we liked this one this much? Did you like the message of it? Did you like the way it was executed? Let us know. And if it's your first time here, make sure to subscribe so you can finish watching Star Trek: The Original Series with us, and then jump into the animated series and the movies and everything else in the future. Become part of the target audience.
Guys, this is one of the worst episodes. Are you stupid?
No, we're allowed to like it, and we're allowed to love it. We just can't dislike any of the episodes. That's what we're not allowed to do.
That's right. But that'll do it for us here at the TA. I'm Alex. This is Josh. We're the target audience. Content's made for absolutely everybody, but things specifically made for us guys, but hopefully for you guys as well. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next round.